In February 2011, I, along with 3 colleagues and 12 students from BIS Canada School in Korea, visited Europe. The first stop was Paris. We hit the hot spots, including the Louvre, the Palace of Versailles, and of course the Eiffel Tower. We were led by our amazing tour guide, Peter Meehan, and this is the visual evidence of our time in the fabulous City of Light. Except it was daylight. Well, anyway, you get the drift. So check out a couple more pictures. There's the Arc de Triomphe, and another one of the Hall of Mirrors. Right. And maybe just one more photo of a restaurant. Yes. Okay, enjoy the show.
So this is where Tom Hanks came to his big discovery in the Da Vinci Code, right? This is where Tom Hanks came to his big discovery in the Da Vinci Code?
Yeah, and the car drove over the top.
Yeah. The Holy Grail is underneath.
Yeah.
It looks much better than the movie.
Yeah, I
Much,
didn't
much
take the
better.
movie.
Yeah,
The first one.
So I'm wandering around the bottom of the glass pyramid, which you can see straight up. And not too busy. I mean, there are a lot of people here, but it's not so crowded that you can't move, which is good. We've been told by our guide, Peter, that this is actually the best time of year to come to Paris, because A, the weather's not bad, but B, there aren't so many travelers, so many tourists here, and because the leaves aren't on the trees, it's easier to see the buildings that we've come here to see. So, all things considered, not too bad. It's overcast today, but it's about 10 degrees. Pretty nice.
This was made in the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris, 2nd of December 1804. The man who painted it.
One of Napoleon's first battles. Okay, when his troops came back from that, so his army killed all those Austrians and then they came back to Paris. Napoleon wanted to build something really big for his troops, his army, to march under. Came up with the idea of the Arc de Triomphe, which is way up the other end. It was going to be a big elephant, 50 metres high. It didn't get finished in time, so we built this. And those 4 horses up on top are known as the quadriga, which is Italian for 4. Okay, he found those in Venice and brought them here. But more importantly, come in, kids, guys, come in and look at me, please. If you look through this, see the arch, you'll see the Ferris wheel. Behind that is the Champs-Élysées, and at the top of that is the Arc de Triomphe. This arch here sits right under the main arch of the Arc de Triomphe. And then further on behind that is the business area, and there's a big glass arch down there in a place called La Défense. They all sit underneath each other, and it's in a perfect line all the way down. Who built that? Baron von Haussmann. Okay, he got everything in line for them all. Okay, with the La Défense area.
Well, you know you can't come to France without trying escargot. And I'm going to wait and film Mr. Gallinelli as he
Is there a certain way to eat
tries it out.
Yep. Take one of those and dig it out.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tastes like chicken.
Just like chicken.
All right, right now we've got Phil Schrader about to try some escargot. So,
Bon appetit. Très bien.
All right. We have just arrived in Versailles to the palace, which we can see. The gold, the statue. You know, a thought that comes to mind as I look around Versailles is that perhaps we shouldn't be so quick to dismiss the values of tyrants and despots from ancient and medieval times, because when you see the kinds of works, the projects they did on the backs of slave labor, basically, I don't think we'd see anything like this today.
110 years. To give you an idea, 1682, we are in the 17th century, until the French Revolution, 1789. So the first king was Louis XIV. His nickname was the Sun King, you remember. He was the one who created this palace, basically. Okay? He had a long reign. He died at the age of 77. He died so old that all his kids died before him, as well as his grandkids. So the second king who reigned was his great-grandson, another Louis XV. And the third one is known because of his wife. Louis XVI married to Marie Antoinette. You remember? Very famous Austrian princess. She came here when she was 14 years old. So they were the last couple living here. The French Revolution started on the 14th of July 1789. Then 3 months later, the crazy people of Paris arrived here. Mad, because they had no food in their stomach. They were very nervous.
And that is exactly the same size as the flame that is on the Statue of Liberty in New York.
In New York?
In New York, the same size. This is the tunnel that Diana tragically passed away
This
in
way or
1977.
opposite way? The other way?
I believe they were going the other way, but I'm not entirely sure.
It's pretty of a straight tunnel. I figured there was a curve or something.
There's quite a large curve right here.
Oh, yeah.
And the speeds they were doing, apparently. This is the original, it's the biggest, it's the best, it's the finest example of Gothic architecture, something I spoke about today. But it's still incomplete. They have those few towers there which are 68 metres high. They should have points on them, but they don't. They never will. Okay? Some really cool things to look at. You've got 3 arches. Okay? Most Gothic cathedrals have 3 arches. As they say, you go in on the right portal as a sinner, and you come out on the left absolved. So you go through the centre one if you're getting married, or you get carried through if you're dead.
What?
Okay? So for a funeral. Just in 1354, so nearly 200 years. 191 years, yes. Okay? Now the other thing is when you walk in, see all the stained glass windows up high. Okay? There's not a lot of pillars inside. That's because they have those floating buttresses on the outside. Like
We can't go in today. We don't have time, and also costs money. I'm not sure it's even an option, but it is an absolutely stunning building. And yeah, the final resting place of Napoleon.
One of you.
I think I'm always scared.
The ostering's still there on the first floor.
What's that?
The ostering's still there on the first floor.
Daar zijn we vandaag gelopen. Het park door of zo.
Vooral in de vette kijken.
We zijn al uitgebouwd.
Yeah, a little bit of a shake. The elevator goes up.
Okay, our hotel is right over there. Sorry? It's over there. Wrong tower. There's the big dome we saw this morning. See the gold dome? Église de Dome. Okay, now keep following my arm as we come around. See the Ferris wheel down there?
Oh, there's Louvre.
Okay, that's the Louvre.
There.
Yep. And then there is the Arc de Triomphe. Straight through there. Follow my arm.
Yes.
So if you draw a line from the Arc de Triomphe down to the Ferris wheel, that is the Champs-Élysées.
Okay, so Peter, what is this section over here that we're looking at?
Okay, the section down there, there's a fountain in the middle and the two buildings either side. That's called the Shiloh Palais. It's 4 museums. They're of no renown whatsoever, but originally that was the location for the summer residence of Catherine de Medici. Okay, so she used to move from the Louvre to there as her summer residence. The fountains, they're called the Trocadero fountains. That's representing the French victory over the Spanish at the Battle of Trocadero many years ago. In summer, there's fountains going there. And then if you pan up a little bit, you'll see all the high-rise buildings. That's the business district, which is La Défense. And then in behind here, there's a road called Rue Benjamin Franklin. Okay, that's where he lived during his time here. And this is obviously the River Seine down through here. Just in amongst the buildings there is the Arc de Triomphe and the central shopping and business district of Paris itself.
Nice.
I was having fun. You can see my face
Okay,
in the.
so this is a little square where you get sort of the iconic pictures of the Eiffel Tower, and this spot right around here where we're standing is supposedly where Hitler did his little jig when he came to Paris for the one and only time in order to sign the surrender papers when France surrendered to Germany. A little bit of history.
And then you have to try and get off. We could be going around for days, but we'll try not to. Okay. Dominic is going to take us around once. Now, on the left, look out. You'll see the people there, you'll see the flowers, and there is the eternal flame. See all the big signs, the names in there. I can see Smolensk. I can see Krakow, Toulouse, Oporto. So they are the names of the battles. Now, on inside there, you can see the names of people. They are the generals that fought for him. Ypres. And I can tell you this because as silly and as crazy as it sounds out here. Now look to the right, guys. Here's something. See the arch down there? Right in the middle of the buildings? Yeah, it's like a square arch. This sits right in the middle of that. That's how big that arch actually is. And then there's that other small one I pointed out to you yesterday, down at the Louvre. And they're all in a perfect line with each other. And there's more of the names as well as the battle, so you can see. And if you're able to look at all those names and then sit down and get a map of Europe out, he had battles in just about every single European country, if not capital. He was a very busy man.
Lors de tous les déplacements à bord, je vous remercie de vous munir de vos billets cartes de réduction. TGV Direct, mon voyageur Strike Team vous souhaite un agréable voyage.